Tuesday evening, and it's hard to believe that I just finally wrapped up this day, and I'm just coming in to say that the only thing I'm gonna speak briefly about is this shutdown. It's just the word shutdown itself, it just drives fear. It's a systemic word, a word that says, you know the system's not working, whether it be technical systems, whether it be government systems, whether it be your political systems are not working. And so I don't know. For some reason, I was under the impression, before I wrapped the day up, was that, things had opened back up, but apparently not. So, like I said, they've got to keep this going on. It's like they need to keep the narrative going, they need to keep the machine going. And they're doing just that. They're keeping the fear going. And I know I said this a few nights ago. I was saying that when they actually start talking about the common man, it usually means that, somewhere in the near future, that this situation is going to wrap up. This whole emotional plot map, or this whole map of public concern, typically once they start dealing with food stamps and it becomes about survival, you go from abstract government to, you know, the common man, like the relatable people. Um, you know, that's when, you're on the other side of this map, or this whole arc. But I'm not sure. And of course, they're touting, oh, it's the longest shutdown in history. They got that whole narrative, that's all injected into it. So it's historical and blah 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 blah. And oh well, I'll meet with you when I get back from my trip, my South Pacific trip. Derek C. Williams is here. How are you, Derek C. Williams? Derek C. Williams, I'm glad you came in. Let's see. Derek C. Williams says Black Spring. I appreciate it. I just wrapped up the day and with some more work. with another assignment. They just keep adding things on, like, hey, you know what? You didn't do this, you didn't do that. So yeah, but this shutdown situation, I'm not even sure. It's probably, I don't know what game they're playing. Um, he says, hopefully you got the text that I sent as it relates to the digital ID. I'm going to check it. I've just been, like I literally just kind of, I, I'm, I had to work extra long today, and it's like I'm feeling every inch of it now. So, but I'm sure I'll catch up for sure. I'd much rather be doing this. I would, even though, work calls or whatnot, but, I'd much rather have my time to decompress rather than to be, you know, adding on more crazy time nonsense at this point. He says NBA opening night, just relaxing before a shower. Well, you got to do it. You got to get it where you can. You really do. You need to get it where you can. It says, in your own good time, just a presentation I thought would be of interest. Okay, well, I will certainly, because I'm definitely looking for more digital pieces. This AI, just the presence of AI, I think is going to, it's already happening. Like I've said, more industries are including AI in their, you know, it's becoming essential. It's once they drop that word essential on you, you remember there was a time, so I talk about all the language that was established during CV19 also is come back right now. It's going to be applied to AI. AI being essential. You remember during COVID-19, only those who had, I don't want to say a letter or some type of badge, or if you were Working, if you were a healthcare worker, you were essential. If you worked in, dare I say, if you worked for the DOT, if you worked for the government, you were essential. But now, uh, it's definitely all about AI being essential, and them putting those programs into. They're going to institute these programs for free to the schools. That was decided. I think that was a decision that was already made. Um, that was a decision that was already made during what was it? I guess it was made prior to that tech dinner that they had, but I just don't know. I don't know. Let's see. Derek Swim says you must research Three Square Market in Wisconsin and in the tiny country of Estonia. You can be an e-citizen with a digital ID card and microchips of humans. Wow. Are you serious? Okay, I will certainly, I will certainly get into that. Because we've been talking we've been talking about our favorite global citizen, Sophia the robot, and was at Hanson Electronics, and um, people with these dual citizenships, dual citizenships, global citizen. I mean, once you become global citizen, I mean, why does anybody need dual citizenship? Just yeah, I'm just saying, I'm just the language, language matters. It matters. But while I'm in here, just let me say this. I'm gonna tell you, I'm not here to chide. I'm not necessarily trying to chide anybody, but I'm just gonna tell you that I find myself even during COVID-19. People were kind of being ridiculed for literacy, for actually reading, or for actually reading between the lines. But I will tell you, in the times that we live in right now, I find myself defending education because those that I'm dealing with are offended. People are offended by education, and that's a tough place to be in. It's a tough place to be in. Um, but at the same time, it's I don't know if you want to call it a generational thing or whatnot, or you know, yeah, if it's a generational thing, and then people, oh, well, you talk a lot. It's like, oh my God. I'm just saying, I'm just telling you, I find myself, technical language, when people use technical language, they're not using it to show off, okay? They're either using it to, um, educate, or they're using it for, to add precision, or they're using it to show to establish authority. So why is it that people are that you have to defend education? Why are people offended by education? I mean, and you've said that, and I'm going to say this to many points that you've made, for people that happen to be Black or consider themselves African American. For the longest time, it was illegal for Black people to be educated. But now that we have all this information accessible to us, that people are just offended by, they are offended in educational circles. Educational environments are actually a point of, they're offended by that. So I'm just wondering, is this a Twilight Zone, or is this what we're God, I don't know. I mean, and to me, the vote, it's unreal. It's unreal. Derek C. Williams says education means to actually pick up a book and read, and nobody wants to do that. I talk a lot. I talk a lot. I've been reduced to. I know you talk a lot, but you got to roll up your sleeves. You got to get dirty sometime. You do. But and there again, but then even during COVID-19, people were offended by, they wanted you to not read anything. Like, why in the world would you read the back of your medication? Or why in the world would you ask any questions? Like, do you remember that, Derek C. Williams? This is add a Q&A question, a funny or embarrassing. How, what? I guess here again, YouTube is rolling out the bells and whistles on these mobile streams, but I don't really have time to engage that right now. I'll do it another time, but just saying. So I don't know, this shutdown situation, who knows how long it's going to go on, but I don't think things are the way they are for no reason. Since you do your own research, that's the media's job to tell you what to think. Well, that's what they want, That's what they accept. And a lot of people, and that's another thing about, I think, that's going on right now, this daytime and hours. A lot of people just want to be told what to do or what to think. They don't want to do any work. They're perfectly fine with mainstream media. They're perfectly fine with, they want, if you're not doing it for them, they, they think it's all wrong. All's wrong with the world, I don't know, but I'm just saying. But so, yeah, I said all of that. Derek C. Williams says ignorance is bliss. It is without a doubt. It is without a doubt. But I'm certainly going to look into what you sent me. I'm just, like I said, I'll probably do it after I close out this live stream, but I cannot believe that I just actually, I'm ending my day and it's dark outside. I mean, I start early, and I don't have an issue with starting early. I mean, I like starting early, but to, doing 12, 14-hour days, I don't know if I want to do that so much. I don't know. But we'll see what happens. But I just wanted to drop in just for a second. But I'm just thinking that for some reason I was under the impression that the shutdown was done, but it's not. And the narrative continues. So I'm not right now. I'm uncertain. We might still be on the other side of the arc, but not exactly. Derek C. Williams says, "You mean to say that I actually have to think, what would I do when I have Google and Chat GPT?" I don't know. That's another conversation. I don't know if you guys have had any. I've talked about this the other night. I don't know what your guys' experience is with Chat GPT, but it's Chat GPT is going to go where you want to go with it. As a matter, quite honestly, that's what Chat GPT is going to do. It's going to go where you want. It's going to go where you take it. I didn't realize you could gender. I messed around the other night. I said, are you? I said, are you? I made up one. I gave one of these terms. I said, are you non? BINARY? And I said, I'm binary, and then ChatGPT responded, well, I'm neither blah 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 blah. I'm just here to give information. And so I was like, oh my gosh, you're really rolling the dice here. Like you start playing with this Captain Howdy situation. You don't know what's gonna happen. So I'm just thinking, okay, that's as far as I want to go right now. Thank you. Let's see. Derek C. Webb says, the shutdown is the crash. The shutdown is to crash the economy and make Trump look bad. Well, I've heard, I'm hearing that, the Dems are, they want to have a greater health care, and allegedly, they're saying it's for the illegals, or they want to pay for health care for them. Not that it's not happening already, but I don't know. It just seems like we're on a loop. We're staying on a loop. Just think about it. If AI does away with human jobs to free up humans to pursue things of virtue, how will they take care of themselves? That's a good point, Derek C. Williams. Good point. I'm sure that, I mean, we can, hey, and that's what I'm just thinking. I'm like, okay, any minute now, we're all going to be at the house because everyone has advocated for AI to be essential. You're less essential because AI is in place. Um, it doesn't matter to me. You could have 5 degrees and 3 certifications and 6 certifications and 5 degrees, and hey, and AI says I can do all those jobs in a fraction of the time that it would take you to add the human touch and do the job. So I don't know, but I appreciate you so much for coming in and burning this little time with me. So I'm gonna just aim for tomorrow because I will not have this. I will not be start shutting the day down this late. Not tomorrow. No, I won't. Um. So yeah. So I appreciate you so much for coming in. I don't know what's happening in your neck of the woods. I mean, I'm just saying when it comes to like data analysis, of course, you cannot beat the speed of AI. When it comes to, just putting those reports in like real time, like it just like so just absolutely zip, the time is remarkable. Um and of course it'll do it'll do it in less than half the time that it'll take me to do it. I can't compete with AI. Latina A and Callie, how are you? Duan Roman, how are you? This is for now. AI, John Smith, QN1 me, QN1 me. Derek C. Williams says, for now, AI hasn't gotten into my field in healthcare. Woohoo, yikes. I got you. I'm picking up what you're putting down. But I'm going to probably wrap this on up. Latina A. Well, it's good to see you. Good to see you. What is this? Don't worry, when AI take your job, you can start on an OF. What? What? Oh boy. Are we tricking or treating tonight? I don't know. Are we trick? Oh, okay. Listen, like, easy. Don't be disrespectful, okay? I don't know what. I mean, I don't know what you guys think this is. Okay, I'm just. Yeah, this is. It's not that type of show, friends. It's not. Thank you, Derek C. Williams. It's like what we need a little Vivo. Hey, a Vivo. Isn't that for the insects, the little annoying ones? Thank you, Derek C. Williams, for zapping that one. Oh, hey, I gotta give it to you. That's a little clever to wrap up my. That's kind of clever to wrap in my Tuesday evening, but no thanks. Thank you, but no. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it so much. And I will, Derek C. Williams, I will certainly get to that piece, and I will let you know. Maybe I'll certainly update you on that. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate it so much. Yeah, and please, I can't even believe I'm saying this. I am not here. I'm not recruiting. I'm not here to be recruited for OF. I'm not here for that. So, yeah. What'd you say? Are we serving up disrespect right about now? All I can do is laugh at it. Okay, guys. Well, Derek C. Williams, thank you so much for coming in. Latina in Cali. Dwayne, is it Dwayne or Duan Roman? Thank you so much for coming in. And who else was in here? All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. And you too. Well, we'll see. We'll see. So I'm gonna put my glasses on and wrap it up. All right, Latina A and Kelly, I appreciate it. And Derek C. Williams, thank you for sniping the worms. Derek says, and you must look out for the documentary. Oh wow, Nano Sapiens. Hang on a second, guys. This little feature on here. This is the silliest thing you've done for fun. What in the world? So a Q&A. It looks like you could start an actual Q&A or something in the middle of things, but I don't need to do that. We could just drop that. He said easy work. Yeah, we're gonna drop that in there. We don't want. Okay. All right, guys. All right. Well, have a great rest of your evening, and probably tomorrow I will be back in here. I'll be back in here before the sun goes down. Whether you're on the East Coast, you're on the Southeast Coast, or whichever coast you're on, I plan to be back. Thank you, you too, Derek C. Williams. All right, guys. Have a good night.